You're about to overpay for a coffee maker by $150. And the person at the appliance counter, they're counting on it. Look at this. A Hamilton Beach brewer at $40. A Breville Precision brewer, one shelf up at $220. Pull the spec sheets on both, and the brew temperature is identical. The Specialty Coffee Association, the SCA, the organization that sets the global standard for what good coffee actually requires, publishes a certified machine list under their Golden Cup standard program. The Hamilton Beach is on it. So is the Breville. You're paying $180 for brushed stainless steel and a name you recognize from the cooking show. 5 coffee makers sit in the budget aisle. The floor associate keeps walking you toward the machine with the thicker catalog. But almost every one of these cheap brewers pulls water through the same temperature range as the machines charging you 2 to 4 times more. Stick around for all 5, plus the 3 checks you can run on any machine to tell a real bargain from a cheap mistake. I'll show you the first 2 right now, and the third, the one feature that actually saves your coffee from burning, right after machine number 3. First, the brew temperature. The Specialty Coffee Association's Golden Cup standard says great coffee extracts between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Most cheap machines brew cooler than that, and coffee brewed below 190 pulls flat. Below 180, it starts going sour. A budget machine that hits the spec is doing exactly what a premium machine does inside the carafe, regardless of what it cost on the shelf. Second, SCA Golden Cup certification. The SCA publishes a public list of certified home brewers at sca.coffee. These machines have been lab tested against water temperature, brew time, and water to coffee ratio. The SCA's Golden Cup standard targets a ratio between 1 to 15 and 1 to 18, meaning 15 to 18 grams of water for every gram of coffee. A $40 machine on that list has passed the same test as a $200 machine. The sticker on the side is the only thing that changes. Run those 2 checks in the aisle, and most of the gap between cheap and expensive disappears before you get to the register. Back to the list. Number 1, Hamilton Beach 49350. Most buyers see that red and white box and assume they're looking at the cheapest possible machine. That assumption is backwards. The 49350 brews at 205 degrees, the top of the SCA Golden Cup extraction window. Consumer Reports has rated it a best value pick in drip coffee for years running, and owners routinely report 5 or more years of service before replacing it. Next to the Breville Precision Brewer at $220, the Hamilton Beach 49350 pulls the same water temperature and nearly identical cup quality in independent side-by-side tests. You're paying $180 for a name you've seen in cooking segments, and that's it. The machine also includes a 1 to 4 cup setting that slows the brew cycle for small batches, something machines twice the price often skip. The replacement filter basket costs $5, and the machine itself costs $40. One note, if you're using pre-ground coffee, the 49350 delivers everything it promises. If you want to push further, pairing it with a burr grinder, even a $40 one, gives you a more consistent grind size and unlocks more of what the machine is already capable of. Number 2, Cuisinart DCC 3200. Cuisinart has been building kitchen equipment since the 1970s. The DCC 3200 is programmable, holds 14 cups, and includes a charcoal water filter that removes chlorine from tap water before it touches the grounds. There's also a brew strength control and a pause and pour feature if you can't wait for the full carafe to finish. The same company that sells $500 food processors is making this coffee maker and putting it on shelves for $65 to $75. Brew temperature sits in the SCA Golden Cup window. People who look into the DCC 3200 tend to keep it for 8 years, which for a $65 appliance is a number worth sitting with. The machine beside it with the European badge retails for $140 with a comparable spec inside. Same programmable cycle and the same temperature range, different country of origin. Cuisinart's national distribution means warranty service is a short drive, not a mail-in. Number 3, OXO Brew 9 Cup. OXO makes rubber spatulas and can openers, so a coffee maker from them sounds like kitchenware trying to be taken seriously. Here's what most buyers miss. The OXO Brew 9 Cup is SCA Golden Cup certified. The same public laboratory test the Technivorm Macamaster passed at $360. The OXO Brew passed at around $90. Same certification body, same temperature requirement. The brew time window is identical. The Technivorm is a beautiful machine made in the Netherlands, and it's genuinely good. It also carries ECBC certification, the European Coffee Brewing Center's equivalent standard used across Europe. But the SCA and the ECBC aren't certifying the factory. They're certifying the cup. The OXO has a thermal carafe and a bloom cycle that pre-wets the grounds before the full brew begins. The Technivorm does the same things. You're paying $270 for the Dutch factory and the look of the machine. That is a $270 gap for the exact same math. Neither certification body factors either of those into the score. Which brings us to the third check, the carafe. Glass carafes sit on a hot plate that keeps your coffee warm by slowly burning it. A thermal carafe, like the one on this OXO, holds temperature for 2 hours without degrading what's inside. A budget machine with a thermal carafe outserves a premium machine with glass every time you pour that second cup. If the Technivorm is your benchmark for this category, Bonavita is another SCA certified option worth knowing. It sits between the OXO and the Technivorm on price, and shows up constantly in the same best budget coffee maker conversations for good reason. Number 4, Bun NHS. Here's where it gets different, because Bun isn't a budget brand hiding a premium maker. Bun is the premium maker. They build commercial brewing equipment used in diners, hospitals, and restaurant chains across the country. And the NHS is the home version of that same industrial approach, sold without the institutional markup. Bun machines maintain a reservoir of water at brewing temperature at all times. Load cold water, press brew, and a full carafe is ready in under 3 minutes. Not because the machine cuts corners on time, but because it never had to heat cold water from scratch. That's the same principle behind commercial units that cost $800 on a restaurant supply invoice. The NHS retails around $70 to $80. People who want a fast, reliable cup without waiting have been buying these for decades. The floor associate rarely mentions it because the machine sells itself and there's not much to upsell. If you think Bun strips away the markup, machine number 5 completely breaks the pricing model. Number 5, Chefman Rise Plus. Chefman is an Amazon native brand, and most people assume that means corners got cut somewhere. What they miss is that the Rise Plus includes a bloom cycle at $45. A bloom cycle pre-wets the grounds, releases carbon dioxide from fresh coffee, and opens the bed for even extraction. Most machines under $100 skip this entirely because adding it requires a design decision and the hardware to execute a 2-stage brew. The Rise Plus brews in the correct temperature range, and it ships with an Amazon return window if it doesn't deliver. You're getting a feature that usually shows up in specialty equipment in a machine that costs less than a dinner out. Now let me be straight with you, because honesty is how you tell a gold mine from a cheap mistake. Not every budget machine is a Hamilton Beach 49350 or an OXO Brew 9 Cup. There are $30 no-name brewers running cold water through undersized heating elements and calling it coffee. That's exactly why the 3 checks matter. A budget machine is only a gold mine when you can trace it to a real temperature spec and, where possible, an SCA Golden Cup certification. No traceable spec means slow down. Run the 3 checks: brew temperature, SCA Golden Cup certification, and carafe type. Most of the premium markup dissolves before you get to the register. The coffee in your cup doesn't know what the machine cost. It knows what temperature the water was.